I've said this over and over. I know you're tired of hearing me say it. Please forgive me. But I do not understand, not even a little bit, what the fuck these Republicans are doing. Hitching themselves to this orange scum, Donald Trump. Trump is nothing. I mean, he really is nothing. Well, apparently that's not true to the Christian fascists. According to them, the orange bastard is everything. Well, so it is clear, if nothing else, that what now passes for leadership in the U.S. House of Representatives is terrified by Trump's popularity with those 70 million people who voted for him in the reelection campaign of 2020. And the leadership in the House, because they're cowardly, white male Christian fascists, they're terrified to contradict the lies that Trump puts out there, because they're also convinced that these so-called Republican voters are going to stick with this orange bastard no matter what. No matter what. And also, the Republican leadership is terrified of the fascist media propaganda that's put out there by the Fox sewer and the disposal system that they use. That would be One American News, a huge little or huge toilet. Newsmax, which I don't know how you would categorize them. And then you have the scummy little Nazis running around with their podcasts like Steve Bannon and the rest of these people. Bannon is a goose-stepping Nazi. He assists election campaigns of fascists all over Europe. This is what Bannon does. But I digress. So according to my sources at CNN, my sources, in a letter to Republican House members yesterday, the little pissant Kevin McCarthy, the House Minority Leader, who is, as you know, from California, and who had condemned the Orange Bastard's actions immediately after the Capitol riot, before he got on his knees and crawled all the way from Washington to Mar-a-Lago on his hands and knees down Interstate 95. The son of a bitch crawled all the way, slurping and gulping and promising Trump a nice afternoon as soon as he got there. And he got in front of the orange bastard and said that it was time to, quote, this is what he said Monday, it's time to stop relitigating the past. This is what McCarthy wrote in part, quote, if we are to succeed in stopping the radical Democrat agenda from destroying our country, these internal conflicts need to be resolved so as not to detract from the efforts of our collective team. It's clear that we need to make a change, end quote. And the irony of that is what this little prick is talking about is making a change from reality into this sick, Trump-saturated fantasy world where Trump had his reelection stolen from him. Oh, my God. Now, McCarthy, in this letter, and this cracked me up. I mean, it really did. I don't mean it made me laugh. It cracked me up. He billed the Christian Fascist Party as, well, unlike the left in this country, a haven for what he called free thought and debate. The Christian Fascist Party is a haven for free thought and debate. And yet Liz Cheney is to be kicked to the curb precisely because she was indulging in that by pointing out the lies and bullshit of Jesus Trump Christ, or Donald Jesus Trump, however you want to put it, the Christian fascist pig who squats down at Mar-a-Lago that these Republicans can't get enough of. Free thought and debate. So, as if tackling the Biden agenda was the question, which it isn't, then Liz Cheney would be an ideal weapon, which she's not. She's one of the most conservative members, as I've pointed out, you already know, of the Republican Party. She has made one of the most coherent arguments against Joe Biden's ambitions for the country, which is not praising her at all. She's out of her fucking mind politically, as far as I'm concerned. She's just another neo-fascist Republican. But even though Liz Cheney was inching her ass into the Christian fascist faction, she paused just long enough as she was vacating the now dead Republican Party to call Donald Trump exactly what he is, a fucking liar. And that the Republican Party, if they persisted in aligning themselves with those lies, they were doomed. So Liz Cheney is nowhere, not even in the same county as where she might say, I'm no longer a Republican. Of course she's a Republican. She's an arch conservative Republican. She just decided, I guess at the last minute, not to become a Christian fascist. She'll just retain her Christianity, thank you very much. But the fascist part, not yet. But you never know. Liz may come around, right? Now, it's my understanding that before the Republican caucus takes a vote on her tomorrow, she's going to have a chance to address them. I wonder what she's going to say. I wonder if we'll ever know. So anyway, Cheney, she's daughter of Dick Cheney, got herself into an unsustainable position as being part of the leadership of a political party that puts loyalty to Donald Jesus ahead of the truth. This is again, as you've heard me say a million times, this is why these people just make me throw up blood. They have taken the teachings of Jesus of Nazareth, the rabbi, the carpenter, the man had some pretty good shit to say 2,000 years ago, and twisted it into this vile, poisonous religion of theirs. To the point where they put Donald Jesus Trump ahead of the truth. And I mean, it's one of the 10 commandments not to bear false witness. But this is why they're not Christian. They're Christian fascists. They have taken the Christian religion and totally raped it, just absolutely left it lying in the corner, soaked in blood after being attacked by these so-called Christian fascists. So Donald Trump's more than 70 million votes back in November, don't try to figure it out. You'll go crazy. It also means, though, that Liz Cheney is at odds with what the party's key voters believe, even if what they believe is a bunch of bullshit, which it is. Oh, God. And then we have Representative Adam Kinzinger of Illinois, another Republican Trump opponent. He's not a Christian fascist. He is a Republican. He's a conservative. He said that Liz was paying the price for putting this filthy Donald Trump's apologists in an impossible position. How, with a member of the Republican Party leadership pointing out that Trump is a lying son of a bitch, and yet all the Republicans in Congress who need the votes of those 70 million when they come up for re-election, how could they allow Liz to continue to talk the truth? They decided not to allow her to continue to say the truth. They decided to, what's a good word? I know, crucify her for the benefit of Donald Jesus Trump and the slime that vote for him. Oh, God. Anyway, Kinzinger also said, quote, "We need to move on Liz Cheney because she makes me have to answer questions that I know are false." That's what Kinzinger's colleagues were saying, not Adam Kinzinger. He's the kind of Republican you could probably have a beer with. Okay, maybe not. But he's not buying in to the bullshit, the lies, the deception, the filth of Donald Trump. And that's why he said that the people who are going to vote her out of her leadership position are the ones who would say, quote, "We need to move on Liz Cheney because she makes me have to answer questions that I know are false. But I won't say they're false. So I have to get rid of her because she speaks the truth. And I am a member of the Christian Fascist Party, and we wouldn't know truth if it came up and chewed our fucking asses off." Right. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.